Hello, everyone. Welcome. I am Linda Israel, and thank you so very much for coming to my live stream here on YouTube. I greatly appreciate your support and for taking the time to come here and hang out. There are a few things that I want to go over before the actual live started, so this is a recording. First of all, I want to make sure that you like this video and subscribe, so give it a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate that. When you subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell up in the corner. That way you'll get a notification whenever I upload a video. I have a broadcast post or even a live stream. If you're watching this video as a replay and you're the little gear at the bottom, you can change the speed to speed it up. Or if you're on a mobile device, look for the little three dots and usually you can change the playback speed there. My live streams generally last about 2 hours. They can go as long as 3 hours. It kind of depends on what we're working on that day and how the feedback is in the chat. While you're watching, you earn junk bucks. So if you are here in order to get those junk bucks accumulating, go ahead and type hello in the chat and my little bot, Junkie Joe, will see you and then you'll start accruing junk bucks. And you're wondering, well, what do I do with those junk bucks? Well, you can accumulate those, and once you have 2,000 of them, you can type !award and you can redeem them for a $10 off coupon to my shop. You can earn junk bucks while you're here and when you are chatting, as well as when you play the in-chat game. So look for those as they come up, and if you make a donation. For those of you that make a donation during my live stream, make sure that you go over to my website at lindaisrael.com, and if you haven't already done so, create a user account. When you make a donation during my live stream, basically you're buying a membership to my website and to the live stream. In my opinion, what we're doing is you're accumulating that money in my account. Thank you for that donation. And as a reward, you will get 5% off your orders at lindaisrael.com. And during the live stream, if I have a journal that I'm giving away at the very end, you are eligible to win that journal. Anybody that makes a donation gets into that drawing by manually typing in the raffle at the end, but then you also get the discount membership on my website. Thank you to Robin, who is my administrator during the live stream. She helps me out with answering questions as well as giving information. She is also my administrator over at the Friendly Junk Journal People Facebook group. If you haven't joined that group, please do. We'd love to have you over there. You're welcome to share what you're working on. Speaking of sharing, during the live today, you can speak up in the chat and say, hey, I have a YouTube channel. You will not be able to share your link to your channel, but you can at least say, hey, my name is, and this is what I do. And then your friends that come into the chat can follow each other. Let's keep the chat upbeat, friendly, and helpful. If you will be kind to those that are here. If you have a question, put it in all caps and I'll do my best to answer those. The chat sometimes goes pretty fast, so I don't always see it, so do ask again. And at the same time, if you're in the chat and you know the answer to somebody's question, please speak up and give them the answer. Check the description box for the products that I share today. Yes, I am an Amazon affiliate, which means I do get a commission on items that you purchase through my link. If you're going to buy something anyway, I greatly appreciate it. It does not cost you any extra. It just gives me a little bit of a commission, which helps me buy products to show you here. If you win one of the raffles, you can start right now by typing !raffle. Do make sure that you go over to my website, and if you haven't already, created a user account. That way I will have your contact information so I can send you your prize. I am starting a raffle right now that is for 200 junk bucks, so you can get well on your way to accumulating your junk bucks. Let's have some fun today and let's get started. Thanks everybody for being here. Okay, I think I'm live. I think I've got it. I'm waiting on my computer. Okay. Hello, everybody. How are you today? I hope you're well. I don't know why, but my computer screen is showing that the video is going really slow and lagging. So I don't know if that means we're having an internet issue or a computer issue. We'll see. Hey, call me Glitter. Whoop, whoop. You can wait, Jennifer, if I go get some coffee. I should have, but I forgot. It's okay. Let's see here. So I have been kind of cleaning up. Well, that's what I thought. It looks kind of out of sync, but now it's all right when I look up the video. Who knows? I've been kind of looking around in my room, trying to get rid of some things and consolidate some things. And last week I mentioned that I knew I had a couple of journals that I had not completed. This was the journal that we completed, or I completed last week, which had the kettle stitch. It's where we stitched each folded page stacked side by side instead of nested, which gives you the ability that if you have a center image that you want to be seen, you'll be able to keep that visible right in the middle, so you don't have to worry about when you fold the page in half that you cover it up. Now that works only on one side. The other side, of course, will be folded. But I just wanted to show what that looked like. Okay, good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What that looked like. And then, pardon me, I've got a frog in my throat. Maybe I need some water. Okay. I started this journal in 23, and it is from the Bridal Farms. These are digital images from Calico Collage that have pretty flowers and horses. And then I have a tutorial showing how I made magnetic pages so that the pages would keep a hidden pocket. So this is kind of a, I don't know if you can see how that snaps together. So I have a tutorial showing how to make those pages, and that's in the description box of this video. I also made a playlist for Horse Journal so that all of these videos will show up. Then I have, pardon me, another tutorial showing how I used handmade paper, and the paper was made out of paper grocery sacks that I blended together and then used my paper press to put together. And then I stenciled over these pages and added some rubber stamped images and Calico Collage images. So there is a tutorial on that one. And then here is another page that I made. This was some scrapbook paper. And then on this side, I used a piece of sheet music. I used a piece of fabric that I made into a pocket that was from a handkerchief. And then over here, I have a large journal card or two. And then on this side, it's a multi-pocket. So we had these two elements that were in the back pocket. And then this is in a tall, skinny pocket. And then over here is another little pocket. So this is also a tutorial, and you can see it in the description box. Can you hold it? Well, if you want to hold it, come on down. All right, so let me set these right here for now. Stay. So, in my style, whenever I'm working on a journal, I kind of set things up where I package them. So I thought I would show you a little bit of that. So I kind of have these little pockets, and I will put the elements in it that I think go together. And that way, when I'm ready to make a page, I just pull one out and get started. So I have a few of these that are prepared because I had a vision. I had a vision of how this was going to come together back in 23. But then I lost my focus and I was not able to complete my vision. So we're going to start working on that again today. How's that? So to start with, I have a mop-up paper. This is some linen light green, kind of almost a sage green paper that I picked up for like $2 a ream at a specialty paper shop here in Oklahoma City area. And I've been using this paper a little bit at a time, trying to get rid of it. And what I do is I will spray my stencil on another piece of paper, and then I will take a piece of paper and lay it on top and mop up the excess. And that's what this is here. And then this side is where it was sprayed through the stencil. And by doing that, you can kind of get two pieces of paper that are embellished. So that's what I did first. That was ahead of time, so there was no sense in redoing that today. Now what I want to do is I want to stamp on one side of this. So I've got a few stamps selected over here. And we're going to start with this little boot image. And I will, let me see if I can get this lined up here. Yeah. Okay, so that is the boot with flowers rubber stamp that is in my shop. You see the bob wire too. There's some other stamps that I have. I'm going to get my archival inkjet black out. That is Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist. So I use Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist, and I have lots of tutorials, but if you need me to show you later, we will. In fact, I think one of the other pages I'm going to do will spray, and I spray it. Now, if you don't have Tattered Angels, you can use the Distressed Sprays by Tim Holtz. I think Lindy's has a little glimmer spray. I don't know who else has one at the moment because I just predominantly only use the Tattered Angels. I was on one of their design teams back in, I started in 2017, 2018. And I used their product because I could also buy it and sell it. And that's why I went with them. All right, so I'm going to stamp this boot with the flowers over here in the corner. You want to ink up your stamp. I usually march it across the ink pad a few times. Press it onto your paper. You want to let it set on your paper for a moment so that the ink can absorb onto the paper. And then there's our first image. And I am going to go ahead and put my stamps back away on my carrier sheet. The next thing I'm going to do is I've got this corner stamp, and I don't have the name right here, but I think it's just called Corner. Maybe Corner Flourish, but I know it's a corner. So I'm going to fold my page back. This is going to go in this upper corner here, like so. Yeah, if you can't find any that you're for, you can make them with Kool-Aid. You can make them with watered down acrylic paint. The key is to get a good sprayer and be diligent about keeping it clean for it to work. All right, so that's going to go there. That's going to go there. I'm looking at my example that I had made. And I've got the barn stamp. And it's going to go right here. I guess I didn't have that on my sheet. I may have to make a new sheet. All right, so there's the barn. And then I have the word barn that I'm going to find a scrap, which I found some right here. Let's see if this will fit. It might fit this way. Let's see. Barn. It's not perfect, but it'll work. And that is part of the, what is that? Farm Stable QT. And then Mare Stallion QT. And then I've got Walk Ride Quartet. All right, so I'm going to trim this one. Just get my little paper trimmer out. And, oh, I already had one made. So, how funny. I didn't know I already had one made. But you see how I made that. I just glued that onto a scrap of fabric. And I'm going to glue that down. Where did my glue go? Here it is. Not baking soda. Baking soda is not going to work for, you're going to use eyeshadow if you want. You could use paint, Kool-Aid, it's going to be really faint because it's not going to be highly pigmented if you use eyeshadow, but it can be done. All right, so then I've got hit the trail. So I'm going to glue that up here. That was one of the word phrases from one of Norella's kits, and I just glued it onto a scrap of paper. I have some little paper flowers here, so I'm going to use a couple of these. I don't think I need that many, but we'll lay some out. So I've got a little pale pink. Let's see, yeah. And then we're going to put a little bit of glue and just place one here. And then we'll get another one and place one here. So when we come to this page, we'll see this side, of course, and then this side. All right, so let's flip this over. Let that dry. I can put this aside. Okay. All right, for this side, I gotta flip my example over so I know what it looks like. There we go. So for this side, I am going to put a belly band on the page. So with this, I sprayed a piece of paper with some tattered angels and a couple of colors that I like, because here is the other side. And then I punched it with a lace paper punch. I believe this is from Martha Stewart. And then I stitched it across the top and the bottom. This piece of paper is 8.5 inches tall by almost 1.5 inches wide, just a little bit wider than the lace. And I'm going to place it on this page, but in the center. And I'm only going to glue across the top and the bottom. Yeah, the glitter in a spray bottles don't work very well. If you are wanting to put glitter on a page, your best bet is to apply a glue, an adhesive of some kind, and then sprinkle it over the top. You could also use a little bit of embossing powder with glitter in it to add glitter to a page. Yeah, it'll clog. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Yeah, Pearl-Ex powder is another that you could use. All right, so I'm going to let that dry for a moment. And while that's drying, I'm going to make an altered paper clip. So I have a little piece of fabric. Oh, did I? Yes, I did. So where is it? Y'all haven't seen it in a while. The sewing lamb. Thank you, Giovanna, for the little sewing lamb. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make an altered paper clip. I've got a paper clip that has the 2 loops at the bottom. And I'm going to take a piece of fabric and put it in the single loop side. And I'll adjust it just a little bit to the length that I want. I'm going to grab some fabric scissors and cut that. And then what I'm going to do is go over to my sewing machine and stitch on here. Now, if you don't have a sewing machine, you can just pull apart these two pieces of fabric and place a little bit of glue inside here to make sure that it's adhered together. But I have a sewing machine and I like to sew. I'm going to pop over here to the sewing machine. Okay, so we're going to go sewing cam. All right, hopefully I got this all working. It's pointing at the floor. Why are you pointed at the floor? Oh, I see. It got twisted. Okay. Are we there? Yes. Okay. So I have my machine set up for a zigzag stitch. I have black thread in the upper and the lower. I want to make sure that the paper clip portion is far away from the needle. So I'm just going to hold on to it and then stitch back and forth. And now that's stitched on there. I'm not worried about it being perfect. It skipped a couple of stitches, but that's okay. All right. Oh, Giovanna's here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I haven't seen you post in a while, so I'm so glad you posted, Giovanna. That makes my day. All right, now, computer, go back. I even have a special spot for it. It's over here in a little drawer, so Lammy doesn't get dirty or lost. All right. So now I've got my little piece that I have sewn, and I'm going to grab a flower, and I cut a little flower in half to kind of make, I think I did half. No, I did it in quarters. Okay. So I'm going to cut this in quarter, like so. Okay, I'll save part of it. Come on there, go back in there. This was one of those projects I was trying to come up with ways to use up some of my paper flowers that I've had for a really long time. All right, so I put a little bit of glue on the back side, and then I'm going to take this green piece of a flower so that kind of sticks out behind, and then add a little bit more glue, and then pop that onto my altered paper clip. And you see now it's got this nice little layered look. Don't want to worry about another year older. All right, so I'm going to let that dry for a moment, and then I've got elements that go there. All right, so I'm going to flip this over. I've got all these little pieces. So this is part of the bridal stable, and it's just a kind of a southwestern look, and it's a pre-paper. Thank you so much, Call Me Glitter. Yeah, I am now considered of the 55 and up club. I've made it. I got my AARP invitation. I think Henry went ahead and bought it because it was so cheap. All right, so I'm going to glue that down the bottom of the page here. Press that into place. Oop. Glue kind of stuck to me. All right, then I've got another little image from Calico Collage. I'm going to put it on the edge of this paper pocket here. And I'm going to bring it in so that it's not sticking off the page. Like so. And I'm hoping that this side is dry. So I've got a little journal card that I made. So this was scrapbook paper. This is from Norella's kit. And then on this side was some more scrapbook paper. And I think I put a piece of like a postcard in the background of it. I may have another tutorial that I've forgotten about that shows how I made these cards. I'll have to look it up now because I did a search on horse and I found some of that. And then I kept searching and I was like, oh, I forgot about that and I forgot about that. Oh, good. I'm glad you like the interactive Call Me Glitter. All right, so then this has a pocket. So I just took a piece of some scrapbook paper and put that in here. I had a little journal card from the kits. And then this is going to go here. And then this piece, we'll paper clip it. Because sometimes on belly bands, things fall around. But I just think that kind of gives it a little bit more pretty detail. And then on this side, I've got another piece of scrapbook paper. I'm just going to put that in here. And then I have a tall skinny. And then I took some other scrapbook paper and a book page that I sprayed with some tattered angels. One of Norella's images and her words, and then backed it with a piece of fabric just to kind of make a little small writing spot. And that will go here. So there is another page made. And I guess when I started making this, my idea was to make 3 journals because apparently I have 3 of everything. All right, so let's pull out another one. Let me get some of these paper clips and put them away. All right, let's see what we've got here. All right, well, we've got, we can do a page where we use some tattered angels on it. And I grabbed, looks like I have a few supplies here, so I'm going to get those out. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm just going to pull out 2 for now. And what I'm just going to do 1 set, I guess. I'll set this here for a minute. All right, so first I need to cut this. So this is from a composition notebook. So composition notebook, and if you go to the dead center, I think I'm almost there. There we go. If you go to the dead center, you can pick the stitches down the inside there, and then the pages will just come out as a full page. This is kind of handy if you want that notebook paper look, but you want the paper going in the correct direction. So that is how I do it. Now I'm going to crease this page down. I'm going to cut it at 8.5 inches tall. You could fold the edges, you could rip the edges. Then I'm going to cut this at 5.5 inches. And again, you could fold it, you could tear it. I'm just going to go ahead and cut it. So now I have 2 pages that I can use in my journal. Okay. I think what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put some gloves on and get out some tattered angels. And again, if you don't have tattered angels, you know, there's all kinds of spray color wash tutorials out there that you can look at. Some people will even take an old alcohol marker and take it apart and put it in water or alcohol and make a spray. So it just kind of depends on what you like. I think I'm going to use I think this is the Bella Rose stencil, and I think that would be really pretty because I can do a mop up and a spray of that. Alright, so what I'm going to do is take this and lay it in my spray box. Then I'm going to lay my stencil over the page. And my colors were pretty much kind of some pinks and blues. I don't want to go too dark. It looks like I have a green. What else do I have here? I have a pink. Let's do the let's do this pink. So I've got Party Pink. So I want to shake it because it has mica in it. So I have to shake it up. I don't mail things out of my Patreon because of the time that it was taking, but I do have a Patreon, but I don't actually mail things, if that's what you're talking about. Now, if you're talking about just getting updates of what I'm doing, you can follow me on my Facebook page or here on YouTube. Alright, so I'm just laying this on top of this stencil, and that is mopping up the spray that's laying on top of the stencil. It will bleed through a thin paper, so I'm just going to take the same color and spray the back side, and that'll help decorate both sides of the paper. So here is the mop-up page, okay? And then I'm going to let that dry for a moment. And I'm going to pick up this stencil. So I guess I had it too far away from the page, but that's okay. I still like it. And thank you so much. Okay. And then there's this side. I am going to use my heat tool to dry this a little bit, because it's wet. It takes it a moment. Oh, you had to refresh because Robin was behind. Alright, I think that's pretty much dry. I'm going to heat this one up too as well. It's the only bad thing about using the sprays, you do have to either plan to let the items dry on their, over to the side, out of the way, or use a heat tool or a fan to help speed it up. Okay. This is pretty much dry. Just making sure it's thoroughly dry. Okay. Take my gloves off. Just go ahead and fold these as a half page. Alright, so they pretty much look similar, but that's okay. I'm alright with that. I think what I want to do is look at the rubber stamps. So I have some stamps here. I have some digital images from Calico Collage. So 1, 2, there's one of those. And I have, let me get this, one of those. And then I have, looks like a butterfly. And then I have page tabs that we can use. I also have these flowers, and I have some other flowers. So here's what I kind of do a lot of times if I'm trying to make a page, is I get out what I think I want to use. Like, I like these flowers. I don't know if I'll use one, but I'm going to get them out. because there's some purples in there. And I might use some of those. I don't know. Get a drink of water. So I'm kind of thinking that we could, you know, maybe do something where we put this little image either at the bottom of the page or directly at the top. This could go over here. I do have several page tabs that are all different. So we could put a page tab on each one. Why is it stuck together? There it goes. Maybe I could put one here and then alter and put this one up higher. Does that make sense? I'll kind of lay them here. And then maybe this one can go in the middle and that would go kind of close to it. You kind of see what I'm doing here. You kind of get a vision of what you want. And I think I need to look for some fabric pieces. I've been using some fabric pieces. I do have a little bit of this left over, but I know I have some more. One year, Henry and I made a bunch of almond bark candy for Christmas, and he saved the little containers that the almond bark came in, and I've been using them to sort my little strips of fabric that I use. Okay, I'm thinking there might be enough of this that I can cut 3 pieces, because I got 3 journal pages. I want to come back and at least finish the other journal page. And so I think that would look good under there. I may switch which way I do it. Okay. And we're going to have those tabs. I've got a butterfly. I think I'm done with this fabric. I think that was a good piece there. And then I have to put it back. It has to have its own place or it's a mess. That's how it works here. Okay, so we don't have any sentiments or sayings on these. And I haven't used these in a while, so I've got horses keep me stable, hold your horses. So we could stamp both of those. I need a little strip of paper. I think that would work. Let's see how big it is. If I cut this at, that should be enough. Let's see. So I got a couple of strips. I'm going to flip this over. Horses keep me stable. All right, so I need my, yeah. If I stamp that, then I can use it. I'm trying to get this where y'all can see. I'm just going to stamp that on that little scrap of paper. I think that was some coffee dyed paper that I had a scrap of. All right, horses keep me stable. And then this one says, hold on. Hold your horses, okay? Hold your horses. Okay, and I'll just trim that. I don't know, maybe I'll put this one here. Hold your horses. I don't know. We'll see. We'll play around with how we do this. You know, if I want to do something like horses keep me stable, do I want to put that here? I could put it down lower on the page, and then this could go right here behind that, and then this can go up higher. That may be what I do. And then we've got hold your horses. Do we want to put it at the top? I think so. All right, let's add some distressings. You made whole walnut dye yesterday? You have to be careful with walnut dye. Isn't it one? I know there's some others that are natural that you have to be careful when handling it so you don't get a rash. I think I have some powder that you can use for walnut dye, and I always use gloves just in case. Probably because I don't want to get any dye on my fingers. Okay, I think that works. I think that works. Maybe, just maybe. I don't know if I have any more scraps. Or do I want to do scraps? Maybe. I'm going to look to see real fast if there's something in here that can go for more than one journal page. Like this has there's a pretty little floral that I can cut. And what I might do is this. I'm going to cut it. And this is folded in half, so I'm going to cut it down the fold if I can get it opened up. There we go. Alright, so now, do I want to put that up higher? Oh wait, we want to put a shorter one. This one goes with the long one, which goes over here, which goes like this, which goes like that. Alright, so we'll have a piece of that left over. And I think this one, I'm going to use the yellow side more and cut this. Okay, and then that goes up there. Oh, you know, that kind of just blends right in, doesn't it, on that page. So, what do we want to do? Is that not big enough that way? I was trying to see if I had a piece of paper that would accommodate my needs, but I think what I could do is if I cut a strip and back it with it, then it would stand out better. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so I'm going to lay this in here. I want it a little bit wider. So probably 1.5 inches. I think that'll work. If I can get it to lay still. Okay. And then I'll slide this over just a smidge and then cut it. Now let's look at it. Now, doesn't that look better? Because it gives us all those layers so we can see where that sticks out. I like it. I think I'm going to do the same with this piece. This is a paper sack, and when I cut up paper sacks, I'll sometimes save the bigger pieces if I think it'll make something cool. Alright, I'm still kind of playing around with design, but let's work on this page. So I know I'm going to put that there. And what am I going to put on this side? How about if we do some bob wire across the top? Let me get my tall skinny. Come on. Oh, what happened to Jennifer? Jennifer, you still there? I didn't show you my nails. You see the little hearts? And then there's hearts on my ring fingers. And I did put a little bling. I had a nail making session this weekend. Henry was like, "You making more nails?" I go, "Yep." And then I'd get finished. "You're making more?" I go, "Yep." I was inspired. All right, I think I'm going to put this right where the top line is and stamp that. Thank you, Julie. All right, Robin, I'll let you. Okay, so there is some barbed wire. Okay, I like that. You know, I've got some more little elements. Where are they? You gotta be kidding me. There it is. Some elements from Calico Collage. Get off your high horse. Okay, that'll work. We'll use that one. Get off your high horse. I'll just put that right in the middle. I don't want to put too many things down before I finish stamping, but sometimes I'll put a couple of things. Okay, I kind of like that. And then let's open this to the inside. I've got this horse that's running horse. So let me get my stamp block. And now, do I want to stamp that? I'm trying to see where I want to stamp it. If I put this image up here, this image here, sometimes when you stamp, it kind of bleeds through. See how that bled through? So I'm thinking I will stamp it here, and then that way, this image on the other side will kind of cover it up. So now when I put, so you can kind of see it, but when I put this over the top of it, you don't notice it. Does that make sense? Or barbed? 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 You need to make some Valentine's nails. I have a set of Valentine's nail that I haven't worn yet that has got giant bling on it, a big giant red bling gemstone heart, and I haven't worn it yet. But we are supposed to go on a cruise on Valentine's in 2026. I think that's right, in 26, maybe 27. And I think I'll wear them on that Valentine's Day because they'll be, you know, special. All right, so since we've got the barbed wire here, I'm trying to decide what I want to put across the top of the page. What if, I don't know that I want to put too much bulk in there. Do I want to just stamp the same barbed wire on this side? Why not? Let's just do that. I think that's the prudent thing to do, is to stamp this. I may go this way, see if it's closer to close, but not perfect. There, it's not perfect, but you can kind of see that it's across there. And then we will look at, let's put the barbed wire back and the horse back. And let's find another sentiment. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. So that fits right across there. All right, so this is going to be my front. I'm going to glue this piece down, and we're going to glue these pieces together. So let me add some distress inks to the brown. Yeah, stamp another one. That's what I did. Okay, got that distress. I might as well do this one while I'm here. Okay. All right, so let's layer this one together. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. I guess I could stitch this together. Do you want me to stitch it? Speak now, forever hold your peace. I think we could get away with just layering it up. I am going to trim this side just a little bit. There. And then glue this up here. All right, so if I take this piece and I can glue it on the edge, living on the edge, and then put this over the top of it in the corner, and then this down like that, and then we've got room, we can put a little bit of flowers there. How's that? Okay. Glue that down into place. I'm just using Aleene's tacky glue. And then about, right about there, I guess. Press it into place. Thanks, Carol. Call me Glitter. I don't know if I'm going to call you Carol. I'm abbreviating. Call me Glitter. Okay, so now this piece will go here. And then this piece will go here. All right, put that right here. Now Julie's running off. Robin had to run away. Now Julie's running away. Okay, so now I want to put this one on the back page. So I'm going to glue it down. And then we'll go back and add some flowers and other embellishment that I come up with. I was thinking I could use, I'm putting extras over here to the side so that I can duplicate this to make the other journals, but I didn't see it necessary to make 3 journal pages today with y'all. All right, so if I put that there, and then come here, I'm going to put one of these in the middle of it, or off side, off to the side, middle or off to the side. And I don't know if I have a different green flower. think we're going to go with these. I've rearranged some of my flowers, but I still think I have some that I haven't put out yet. All right, so maybe I've got this. Do we want this shade of green or this shade of green? Margie's not here to be an instigator and say to use cheesecloth. So, Call Me Glitter says put it right in the middle. And then I was going to put a couple of these greens behind like that. How's that? I think that's what I'll do. That's what I'm gonna do. Let's do a couple of those. I could mix the colors together. Yeah. I was trying to put that pink one in the middle of the purple. All right, now come on. This flower is too thick. There we go. I got one there. Because we could do something like put a little green there, a little pink one. Let's put it like that. And then I have one of these. That I could put in the center of that one. I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay. Place the flowers to the side for a moment. Put this back. Okay. I think I got a little collage started there, so I'm going to glue down the green. You say use it. You say it. Use some cheesecloth. Okay, well, I think we'll use some cheesecloth in a moment. I may have to. Let me see if I have one already. Because sometimes I just have one lingering, but I don't see one there. So is this where the cheesecloth is? Yeah. I found it. I found it. I got some cheesecloth. I'm going to get my good large handled fabric scissors so I can cut a length of it. And we have to decide what color should the cheesecloth be. All right, I'm going to go ahead and glue these together. So I'll put a little dot there. And then stick this guy. Come here now. Now I bent up the flowers. There we go. Put that right in the middle. Okay. And then I want to come down. Yeah, something like that. All right, let's put this one down. And then we'll put this one kind of at the top. There. You're thinking about typing out your journal entry and printing it out to glue. So instead of writing in your page because you don't like your handwriting or you're worried about your handwriting, you're going to type it out. And I feel you. Another thing that I have done is written on another piece of paper and then glued it down. So if it is bad, You could just write it again, but you have it written down. That's another technique that I have done in the past, and you might like that better because here's what happens. You have a creative moment, and if you have to go to a computer to type it all out, then you've got to make sure the printer is ready and loaded with your paper, and then you print it, and then you got to look at it, and you got to trim it and put it all away. So you have to be in a mindset to do all those steps. So a suggestion is just get you some notebook paper or pretty paper that you want to use with your journal and write it out. That's one way to do it. I think I want to find some rhinestones. I got to use some bling. Let's see what I have in here. See this size. I think this will be a good size. I'm almost about to lose my cheesecloth. We're going to have to use some of that in a moment. All right, so I got 1, 2, 3 spots. So 1, 2, 3, and then I'm just going to pop that rhinestone. There we go. And put one here. This one doesn't want to come off. It's going to stick to the page in the wrong spot. No, you are not allowed. There. You're back, Julie. You were gone. Oh, dear. We missed you so much, Julie. All right, pardon me. I had to go off camera. Get some hand sanitizer. All right, so we've got... You love your handwriting? Can't get yourself to write. Okay, and I get that. So then it might be for you because then you can stop where you are and save it. So yeah, I can see where you may want to just kind of sit and type it out. Or I just say get a notebook and write your journal entry in your notebook and then rip that page, cut that page, and then paste it into your finished journal. All right, I like what that turned out. All right, so it's a little bumpy right here. In fact, I just made a hole in there. So let's look to see if there's something else. What do we have here? I don't think we need, do we need 2 images of the same thing? I could put the butterfly there with some more flowers. Maybe that's what we'll do. We'll put the butterfly there over some cheesecloth. What color should I make the cheesecloth? Let me put some gloves on. All right, we're going to use the cheesecloth. What color? Should we do a teal? I think a teal behind that orange would look pretty good. Get my glove. Kind of like that color. Kind of a bright color. Is a junk journal. Gotcha. I mean, because here's some things that I do is, this is just a random, over the years, I'll just grab if I have a quick note that I want to write down. And it's not necessarily my true journal. I mean, you can kind of see I've got the dates kind of go there. So, are you going to outvote Robin? Because she says no cheesecloth. I'm going to prepare the cheesecloth anyway. I'm going to do the whole piece this color. Fold and tuck into a pocket. I also like to do your writing in the back of decorated text. Oh, that's awesome too. Okay, so I'm just shaking that up, and then I'm going to spray the cheesecloth. I really want this color to be saturated all the way through because there's multiple layers here. All right. And let's see if there's anything else. I've got a little bit of this. Oh, here's a different shade of teal. That one's Curious. And that one was from the All About Robins. And then I've got a little bit of this Bahama Blue, which is kind of a green. Yeah, just kind of add a little more depth to it. All right, so now I'm going to dry it. I sprayed it way too much. Angela, hello. Yes to cheesecloth or no to cheesecloth? We're trying to vote. Robin, she says no, but we have yes from Bonnie and myself, and I believe Jennifer, she instigated it, so that's 2 that say yes. You shall haunt me when you pass from this earth. Well, I'll just say, oh, Robin's here. I'll use more cheesecloth. Oh, dear. So when you become part of the group, we tease you once we find out what your weakness is. And I'm kind of find the edge and pull this apart a little bit so that it will dry. There we go. See, now I'll have this whole little piece that I can use. Actually, I did it so that it would already be ready when I do the other 2 journal pages. And then, of course, whatever is left over will get stuck in my little bin that I set over to the side. Yes, 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 Angela says. And Julie says, yes, but not green. Well, it's not green, it's teal. Had a little bit of green, not a lot. Okay. Take my gloves off, put them over here. So I'm just going to cut a little piece of this and kind of twist it around, and then we'll place it down, and then we'll place some flowers around it. When you do mixed media, you love using cheesecloth? Well, cool! All right, we're going to add some flowers to the top of this, I think. Okay. I'm going to put that to the side. All right, so let's look at the flowers again. Looking at the flowers again. I think we're going to do some purple ones this time. Keep pressing the little butterfly down. Okay. What do I have here? So how about if we do 1, 2, 3. So I need to do that again. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay. I'm trying to get enough for the other pages I want to make. You don't know what cheesecloth looks like because you can't vote. Well, this is cheesecloth right here. That's what cheesecloth is. It started out as white, and I changed the color. So now I think we need some green. So I'll get a couple of green. There's extra there. And maybe this light green. This one feels like it's 3 layers, but for whatever reason I can't pull it apart. So we're just going to dig a little deeper. Go a little further. All right, so there's one. There's one. There's one. There's one. There's one. Okay. And yeah. And then there's another shade of green. Do we want it to? No, that's the same. I just keep thinking it's a different shade. And, oh wait, there's the other shade. There's the other shade of green. There. Okay, so now we got flowers. We have cheesecloth. Go over there. All right, so these are going to be saved for later. Okay. And now I think I wanted to just put a couple and then put the purple on top. I think we've got room that I could put a sentiment right here. Okay. And kind of like that. How's that? Oh, didn't get enough glue. It's sticking to my finger, but not to the page. All right, there we go. I have some more scraps of paper. Here we go. This will work. And we've got walk, lope, ride. No, walk. Yeah, walk, lope, trot, ride. I guess we could do I don't know. What do I want to do? I can't decide which one I like. So maybe if we go about that far over. That should be big enough. You like it despite the cheesecloth? See, it kind of adds a little color to it. Okay, let's do ride. Because we could say the butterfly is riding the wind and the human is riding the horse. The horse is riding, I don't know. There, I got it stamped out multiple times. Okay. That over there. Let's add some distress inks. I do see this little piece of fabric. We could put that, and there's enough that I could do it for the others. So we're going to cut that, set that in the pile. And then put that right here. I like it. Use trot. Well, of course I used something different. Ribbons are better. Ribbons are better than cheesecloth. I like the cheesecloth because it doesn't add a whole lot of bulk to my page. And being that it was white when I started, I can make it any color that I want. All right. And I think this is okay. We can leave that relatively simple. So there is that one. I am going to save, put that in here for now. All right, so let's go over here. Oh, I know what I forgot to do. You didn't remind me to add bling to the flowers. Okay. 1, 2, 3. All right, let's get that bling added. There we go. Have to remember to add the bling. One more. There we go. All right. That goes over there. I like it. All right. Set that there for now. Now we've got this page that I started. And I think I'm going to go ahead and glue this together. Like so. And then I'm going to glue this on top of the paper bag scrap. And I think I'm going to work on this side because I don't want all the bulk to be on one side of the journal pages. So I'm going to cut this into 3 pieces. Okay. And put this one here. I don't know if I want to add the tab above it, even with it. So do we want to put the tab all the way at the top and then put this here and then put this below? I could put this at the top and put this at the bottom middle and then put this here. I think that's what I'm going to go for. Okay, so knowing that, we didn't stamp on any other areas, so let's stamp in here. And I can stamp something up here, and this is going to cover it on the other side. So I have this little horse head. So I think I'll stamp it up high. Okay, like this. There we go. And then this is going to be at the bottom. Do we want another sentiment out of the package, maybe? Horses lend us the wings we lack. How about that? That would be good on that page. Okay, so then I'm going to flip this over. I don't have anything planned for, you know what? Since we did the bob wire on the other one, let's do this other bob wire that I have here. All right, so we're going to stamp this across the top here. and then flip it over. And stamp it. Let's turn it around. Like that. There. So that kind of gives us a little decoration on this page. And we can add sentiments at the bottom if we want. So I'm going to add this one here. I will add this in the middle. Right here. And then on this one, where'd it go? I'll put this one just a little bit lower than that one so they're not right on top of each other. You're cleaning and getting nothing done. I understand that. Sometimes that happens to me. I'll put this one here. All right, let's go back to this side. So we're going to put a piece of fabric here. We're not using the cheesecloth. Oh dear. And now let's glue this one down. I could go ahead and get some more flowers out. And let's just put that here. Lots of texture on this page with the fabric and the paper and the way the page crinkles. Lace and ribbon, yeah. All right, so let's get some more flowers. What do we want to put? I have some more of these. I have kind of a, this is a little mauve-like. Looks like I have 3 of them that are the same color. So I'm going to put 2 over here. Maybe put one right there. And do I want to put, what's this? I have these smaller little purple flowers. Do we want a lighter color in the middle? Do we want the lighter color? Or the darker color? I'm kind of thinking maybe the darker color. Maybe. And I gotta look up at the screen and see which is better. Hey, Sandra! Let's see. Let's go back with the lighter color again. All right, I think I'll go with the lighter color one. I know, I changed my mind. That happens. All right, I got extras there. Let's glue this together. Like so. Put a little dot here. Like so. There. Alrighty. a bling. We need a bling. We need a bling. I've got a bling right here, my dear. We'll put it right here. Okay, I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. Alright, so this was the first one of this 2. And then here's the second one that apparently I'm trying to glue shut. So we've got some variety, and I have all the supplies now that I'm going to stash into my little folder here so I can work on the other 2 journal pages. Now that I have a plan, and I'm going to go ahead and put these inside here. Come on, so I know what I'm going to be doing. Okay. And now we can do another page. Let's see what else we've got in here. I don't know what I've got here. Make a journal card. This just looks like all kinds of scraps and pieces. What is this one? Oh, this one looks like ledger paper. Let's do that. We'll do that one. And this looks like I have extra bits that I can use. And I have more extra bits. I just found some more. And I have these. Okay, so let's take a look at what we've got going on here. I have, it looks like some ledger paper that I can cut probably to be 8.5 inches by 11. And that could be my page folded in half. So I think that's what I'm going to do first, is get out my paper trimmer. And we're going to cut this at 8.5 inches tall. So that's going to make that page a little shorter. So what I might do is measure this. We're just under 8 inches. I'm going to make this one smaller. There. Now, I take these 2 and cut them to 11. They're already pretty much at 11. So I'm going to cut them at 10.5. I think I'm going to switch this. Yeah, I don't want to cut that part off. Might get it straight. Just get it straight. Alright, so now we've got some foundation pages ready to go. You know, I end up with this pile to my side over here. Sometimes I keep them, sometimes I don't. Alright, I think what I'm going to do is just grab one of these, set that here to the side, and fold it in half. And I hope that my pocket, it barely fits on there. That's good, that I already had made. And I think that's what I'm going to do is put, I got 3 pockets here, okay. I think I'm going to put them on one side of this so that it covers up the holes. And then maybe I'll find another piece of paper. I just saw some. I can probably cut a 1-inch strip to go across the bottom of this, and it would look nicer than having the holes. I think that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to start with gluing this into place. I probably shouldn't have cut my page so short in the depth from left to right. All right, so this is going to go here. I'm going to open it back up as soon as I've got it placed, because there's glue that comes through the hole. All right, there's nothing on this side, so I'm going to grab a stencil and some Distress Oxide. How's that? Okay. Get my gloves out. I think I'm going to do another session like this next week. Do you like this style where I kind of show you my thought process of where I'm going? It's kind of fun to see. All right, let's grab... Oh, I don't want that one. Maybe this one. I can spray it with Tattered Angels. It will bleed through a little bit. I think I'm going to use some Distressed Oxide. And let's do the Dusty Concord because I got a re-inker. So let's get that shook up, shook up. Yeah, it's an older stencil. I don't even know the name of it. Okay, give that a moment to kind of soak in. Oh, some of it leaked off, but now we got it. It was really, really wet, so it's going to have kind of a smudged effect. Yeah. Messy, messy, messy. So I'm just using the Distress Oxide ink and basically a makeup blending brush. I get them sometimes off of Amazon. I don't think that any particular brand is necessarily better than another one. Years and years ago, I used to use a blending brush that had a knob like a handle on it. I don't know which ones I like better. You know, if your hand cramps, you may want to kind of play around with different styles to see which one you like the best. All right, so there is that stencil. And I think that'll work for the back side. Okay, so I'm going to set this over here and put this with it. So I have all the supplies necessary to do the others. I'm trying to decide if I want to go ahead and cut a strip of this to go across the bottom. If I just do, yeah, I may do the whole thing. So what do we've got here? I've got not quite enough to do 3. So let's see if I've got another piece of paper. This might work too. I don't know. Okay. I got a couple of pieces now. I'm going to cut them at a 1 inch or 1 1/4. I don't know. 1 inch. What do I got? 2 1/4. So just a little over an inch. Trying to get that centered in there. Don't move on me. Okay, I got those 2 pieces. I'll go ahead and cut one more. That way it's done. So, do I want to just put this on one side, but flip it over like that? Because you can't really see this one. And you'll see that one about the same. Or I could do the whole thing and not even worry about the hole on that side. These are things you have to think about. Oh, you feel like you've been missing out because I've been doing this for years. Well, I have been doing this for years. I mean, it's what I've enjoyed. For years and years and years, I've been a creative person, and then the junk journal scene kind of came about, and again, because I've done it in the 90s, but coming around in 2017, it seemed to explode into the whole realm of the world, and I was able to show my knowledge of being able to create with all the different supplies and techniques and tools that I have used for years and years and years and years. So learn from me, try to learn from my mistakes as well as my goods. I think I'm going to go ahead and just glue this all the way across. I'm going to add some distress inks to the edges. Well, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If I don't glue this all the way down, I could make this a very limited tuck spot because you won't have a lot of leeway with it. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go across and then cut it. Finding the scissors. Okay. So what I'm going to do is add a little bit of glue across the side and on the very bottom. Okay. Now, I'm going to lay that across the bottom of the page and stick that down. And that's going to make a very shallow tuck spot or pocket across the bottom there. Okay, I'm going to go back to this side. I have a couple of things to put in a pocket. What else do I have here? I've got a piece of scrapbook paper that's been trimmed into a card. This is one of the cards that comes in the kit. Here's a little tag, and then here is one of Norella's images. I think I'm going to put this as a little tuck spot on the corner here. Oh, I'm talking like I'm in a Japanese bad movie again. Okay, let me try something. I'm trying something. Yeah, don't watch my face. Well, it's not letting me switch the scene. Oh, well, now it's going to do it. Let's see if it switches back here in a moment. Okay, it switched back. Now, is that better? Is that better or worse? That's my eye doctor. He always, is this better or worse? Better or worse? Number 1 or number 2? Number 1 or number 2? All right, so that's going to go here. And we haven't really decorated this side. I see another little pouch of goodies. So let's look to see what's in here. Okay, so I've got, it looks like a little envelope. So we need to put that together and then figure out how we want to attach it to the page. So this is an envelope that I made with some scrapbook paper. And then I have a piece of book page. I thought would go kind of like this. And then this is one of Norella's images, another one of Norella's images, and then I have a rubber stamp label. What do you think? So something like that. So let's add some distress inks to the pieces and then place it all together. Since Robin wanted me to use trot earlier, that looks like a horse that's trotting. So we'll use the word trot on the label piece. Just for you, Robin. Sometimes you do get what you want. It just is delayed. Trot. All right, thank you. All right, so now I'm just going to, this is a rubber stamp onto a piece of scrap paper, and then I'm just going to stamp the word trot inside of there. So I sell the label stamp, and then I sell the words as a sets of 4 different words. Okay, so let's glue this down. Like so. And then we'll glue this here. So making ephemera, if you will. That's basically what I'm doing, is I'm making my own little knick-knack doodad to put into my journal. Or do we want it up here? Let's put it up high so we don't cover up the flowers. Don't cover up the flowers. You feel special now? I'm glad you do. Okay, so we need a pocket of some sort. I know that I have some extra bits, so let's get out the extra bits and see if there was something that I could use. I saw I got a couple of these paint chips. And then looky here what I have. So maybe we can make a little pocket that envelope would fit in. I have a little piece of this. I don't know if I have enough to do 3 times. I think that's what we'll do. Okay, so I need a pocket that's wide enough to accommodate this little envelope, right? To go on here. So if I were to take this paint chip, I could put a little piece of this pink on here and make a pocket. If I made it narrow, bring it down to the bottom a little bit, it wouldn't cover up as much of my envelope. Follow? So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut this in half. So it's 3 inches, so that means I need to do 1.5 inches. That's 1.5 inches. And then I think I want to put the pink on the blue. So how wide is this? This is 2 inches. So if I cut this at 1 inch, so I can lay this in the middle, and this would go across the page. All right, so I need to cut the pocket portion to be just slightly narrower than my page. I'll go ahead and stack these together and do both of them at the same time. I'm going to switch it up. And then I want to cut this piece to be slightly shorter. So I'm just going to kind of lay it. This is really scientific measuring, you know. This is when you don't want to try to figure out the math. You just turn it over and make a little mark and cut the mark. That's the easy way to do it, y'all. Make sure they're stacked together. There. And I have enough to do this again because I have more of those in here. So now that I've got this piece, let's add some distressings to it. I think it's time for the sewing lamb again. Sewing lamb. Because what I think I want to do is stitch the pink piece on top of the paint chip. And you see that was a paint chip. And remember, if you go to a hardware store, most allow you to take paint chips. You could also ask them if they happen to have any discontinued paint chips and that you would be happy to take them off their hands. Okay. So I'm going to go to the sewing machine and just stitch around that outside edge. I didn't put any glue near the edge, only down the center, okay? Sewing lamb ball. Let's make sure the camera is going to switch. Get a drink of water. Okay. Close the drawer. All right, so I'm just going to use black thread, a zigzag stitch, and just go right around the edge. If you're unsure about stitching on paper, get some index cards and put those in your sewing machine and try all your different stitches. Write on those index cards what you did. You click this button or whatever, and you will have a practice of sewing. And if you're trying to sew straight, sew on the lines, and that's how you can practice your sewing machine. Sewing straight. See, I just think it makes it that much better when you add the stitches. Do you agree? All right, so now I'm going to glue that on the bottom of the ledger page, but I'm going to use some Fabri-Tac glue because, if I can get it open. I can't get this one open. Let's see if there's some in this one. I'll have to get my pliers out and pull that lid off. All right, let's see if there's enough in here. This is kind of a plasticky card, and so sometimes I can't get the glue like Aline's to stick. And this one is just about out of glue. I may have to see if I have another bottle. I may have gotten just enough. It doesn't take very much. All right, so now I'm just going to put that across the bottom here. Hold that in place. I like how that turned out. I thought it turned out pretty cute. All right, so that's going to go there. And, you know, I haven't used some of my different flowers that I have. So I think I'm going to look to see if I have 3 of the same, then I can kind of use one on each page. I'm kind of digging through here. I try to, you know, stamp out several at a time when I make these. I do have some of the watercolor flowers. I need to look for those too. Okay, so I have, it looks like I have a purple, I have a teal, I have a couple of the dark blue. I think I could get away with, because of the others, I've got pink and a blue. I think what I want to do is do blue on here, and then on the reverse one I'll use this pink. So I'll have those to put with this. Okay, does that make sense? And these are just flowers that I rubber stamped, and then I stamped them on watercolor paper, and then I just spent some time coloring them in, and then I fussy cut them, and I put them in my little baggie so I can use them when I'm ready. I don't think we need any more greenery, so I think that'll work. And then this is going to go behind. So if I put it like that in there, and put this right here, I think that'll work. I'm going to put it up high enough that it's not going to come off the bottom of the page. I do the watercolor flowers. I usually stamp a bunch of paper, and then I'll either cut them apart to where they're smaller, or I will have already cut the paper smaller and then stamped it, whatever. It could be using scraps. And then I put it in my carry-on or in my check luggage that has my watercolor paints and paint brushes and then all the images to color. And I take it with me on vacation. It gives me a little something creative to do. And then like the watercolor flower that I showed, that now I've misplaced the whole container of, I make those too, just on scraps of paper. I thought I had more of them made, but I don't see them now. Okay, now how did I just lose that whole bag? That's weird. Oh, there it is. I was like, where did it go? Like, here's some that I haven't cut apart yet. And this one is just where I watercolored onto a scrap. So I just kind of, you know, play around and then save them so I can use them. All right, this goes there. All right, I'm just kind of helping this along. I think this is almost dry, but maybe not quite yet. But I think that's going to look really pretty right there. And we've already got stuff on this side. I haven't really added anything else. Maybe not too much more bulk. All right, so what do we want to put on the inside here? I'm going to come back to the little words. The words. These are all really long. So I need to place them. I can cut them into smaller pieces. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So I could cut this. I told Norella that I disliked them because I didn't like to have to make the choice to cut it apart. Let's see if this is going to work. If I were to put one part here and one part there, and then this would still close. How's that? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So I'm just going to do that. Put that right here. And then put this one on the side. On the bottom. On the bottom. I'm trying to see what else I can use. All right, so I've got horsing around, horse love, and horse sense. Let's do horsing around. And then I'm going to save these two. And then I want to pick, for one to fly, one needs only to take the reins. So we'll use that as a cut up one. And I'd rather ride on a Mustang than in one. That's a good one. All right, so we got those. Now we need some little things to tuck into this little spot, right? I'm trying to see what I have in here. Oh, well, I've got these. Hercules, what are you doing? So smaller pieces can fit like that. So I got a couple of those. I'm going to set that over there. And I have these pieces. They're all, looks like I got 3 different sizes. What else do I have here? I've got some other pieces. Oh, well, here's 3 that are the same size. I think that would be a good, just to stick it into the, I could also put that on top. All right, I like that. And what else? Can I use some of those? Oh, I see. Oh, I don't know if it's big enough, but I see some others. I saw this piece of blue, and I may have some more. Ha! I knew I had some more. I'm putting what I'm not using back into my little thing, so I have it for later. And I looked at this one. I do have a few of these. I'm going to lay those up here, at least for next time even. I have 3 of these. I have 3 of those. Okay, I think we've got something here. I think what I want to do is go ahead and glue this one down. Maybe put it in the middle. And then I was thinking of cutting these. I guess I could do them like that, because then it would just be a short little card. And what we could do, because that's taller now, that could go behind. I don't know. I'm gonna cut these to be the same size. But you can salt the hay. Well, alrighty then. I'm just trying to use up some of these scraps of paper I have on my desk. Okay. I have a little bit of a doily here, but I think it might be too big, even if I cut it. Oh, maybe not. All right, what color should I make that paper doily behind the horse? Should I leave it white, or should I spray it or add color to it with Tattered Angels? Just adding some distress inks to my journal card that's going to go in the pocket or tuck spot here. I'll put that in here. I do have a piece of this left, and what I could do is cut it here and just put it on one edge. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to line this up and trim it. Add some distress ink and glue this down. Oh, cool. Well, take care. Enjoy your little rest. And thank you so much for being here today. Call me Glitter. All right, so I'm letting that dry for a moment. And I think I can't decide what color. Let's get a drink of water. Gold. Julie, you and your gold, woman. Let me see what I can find. Put my gloves on. Getting all ready to go. Got to turn it around the other side. Alright, neutral colors. Let's look in here. I see silver. I see pearl. I see vintage. Walnut gold. I don't know if that was enough in that one. I have bronze. Precious metal. Precious metal. Pearl. Well, you may not get much of a choice. Gold glow. Silver snow. Dazzling diamonds. Royal gold. I think we're going to do a couple of different ones to get the shade of gold that we want. So I'm just unfolding that. And we're going to start with, this one's called CW Vintage, and it's kind of almost a walnut gold, maybe a little bit darker. And this is a really bright gold. But I knew with it being white paper that I would need to really add some color for it to stand out. Okay, I like that so far. Let's dry it and see how it looks. Oh, now I'm all tangled. All right, so we're going to finish this journal page and call it a night. And then we will pick up next week. I'll grab out the next pages that need to be done, and we'll work on that. And if you have suggestions or ideas you want me to try, just let me know. You can leave a comment on this video when we're done. What was your favorite part? Or, hey, I would like to see you use a book page or an envelope or something like that. Just let me know what it is. This has got a pretty shimmer to it. Okay. Take off my gloves. Alright, so we used this vintage and royal gold on that. I think that was from Christmas Wish. Alright, so I'm just going to trim this. Put that over here. And this piece is going to go here. I think I'm going to add some distress inks to the edges. Okay. Let's do it this way. Let's put it down and figure out where I want it. trying to make sure that when I put it down, it's in the position where I want it, not where it thinks it's going. All right, so put it right about there. Clean up any of the excess. And this is going to go in here. And this is going to go in here. Like that. Lots of layers. This one's fluffy. I like it. Is that kind of simple enough? So we've got a little tag that you can write on the back that's just stuck right here. And then you've got another one that's here, which would lend itself to help protect keeping another piece of paper if you want to put something else behind that. That is a possibility. And then here was the envelope, and I used a paint chip and scraps of paper to add to it. Little note paper. You like that? All right, so let's go back and look at the ones we did already. I'm trying to keep it all together. So we did that one, and we did the pink with the stenciling and stamping, and then we did a mop-up page that had some layers as well as some stamping again, and a belly band. So we made 3 pages today. Well, 4 if you count them like that. You don't have it and you want that stencil? I think it's from a stencil club, but I'll have to look it up. It's funny. I'm hoping that maybe Google will help me find it, because I'm trying to remember what the name of that one is. You love it. Thank you, Julie. Thank you. Thank you all for your kind words, your donations, your time. I greatly appreciate you being here. The winner of Chunk Bucks is the Mrs. Edmondson. Well, I will come back next week, and we will continue on this journey of using up these elements to make a journal, making some horse journal pages. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it gives you some inspiration to use some of the things you have and create with them. Do something kind this week for somebody else out there. You never know what someone else is going through. So share a little love with those around you, whether you hold the door, say hello, send a phone call or email, text message to somebody, letting them know that you care about them. Alrighty, what else? Do something creative this week. Create something and share it with others. Whether it be you give it to someone or share it on social media, whatever it may be. All right, y'all have an amazing week. Lots of love to each and every one of you. I'll see you next week, where we will continue on this journey of working on this horse journal. Thanks, everybody. Bye.